And he looked about them with an anger. Jesus? Yeah, Jesus is angry. He fired up. And I like it. He fired up about me. He's fired up about me. He's fired up about the identity he's given me and the destiny he's called me to and the purpose he has for me. He's fired up about you. And he's fired up about people that are telling you you're not good enough, you're not worth it, and everything that you have is dead, dead, dead in the eyes of God. He has resurrection power. He has life for you. He has victory for you. He has transformation, and he is standing up with you against the crowd that says, hey, just stay there and die and never, ever experience healing. He doesn't want you living like that. He doesn't want you thinking like that. But in order for you to step out of that, you've got to step up. You've got to come out and you've got to come to the one that is calling you in love. And you've got to come to the one that is calling you, that is saying to you, here I am with you now. Your strength is in the Lord. He is with you. He's a mighty warrior. He fights for you. He defends you. And in Romans chapter 8, such a beautiful verse, but us as believers, it says, who now can condemn us? It is Christ who died, yea, rather who is risen again, who even makes intercession for us. There is no condemnation now. Jesus sits here and he pleads for you, and he will not let those voices of accusation get through or get in. When we sit, we deny our healing. When we sit, we deny our life. When we sit, we welcome our death. But what Jesus speaks to us is rise up. What Jesus speaks to us is come. Come to what you were created for. Come to who you were called, who you were created by. Come to the life and the victory and the salvation that is offered to you here and now and always. Come to the one who loves you. Come to the one who fills you. Come to the one who directs you. Come to the one who guides you. But the hard hearts of people will keep you sitting there going, I'm too scared. And look, he said to the man, after he gave him a sermon, anger. He said, listen to this, guys. Look at everything that's happened. I saw you in the crowd. I saw you in the crowd. I called you to myself. You are actually standing here with me now in front of all these people. Hey, you know what God says now? You ready for it? You ain't no chain, you a rubber band. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to stretch you out of your comfort zone. I'm going to stretch you out of your fear. I'm going to stretch you out of your death. I'm going to stretch you out of your discouragement. I'm going to stretch you out of your depression. I'm going to stretch you out of that death. I'm going to stretch you out of that dead desire. I'm going to stretch you out of that smoldering fire. And listen, God says, Jesus said to the man, stretch out your hand. You know what? There won't be growth until you're willing to be stretched. You don't grow in faith by doing this. No T-Rexes here, buddies. You know what I'm saying? T-Rex. We're all just reminding ourselves of the little, what it used to be like. Stretch out your hand. Go ahead, do this. Go like this. Just tip it like that and stretch it out. And it was restored. It didn't regrow, it was restored. It was brought back to what it was originally meant to do. You can have cereal now. You can do all those things. You can eat burgers with 2 hands again. Faith is not where we always just say, I believe, I believe, I believe. Faith is where we say, I'm moving. I'm acting. You're not going to go anywhere in your life talking about faith. You're going to go somewhere in life moving on faith. Jesus calls you, but when he calls you, understand this. He already gives you the faith. The faith is a gift. He gives you everything you need to live the life he's called you to live. And what's going to happen is you've got to stretch that dead thing out. You've got to stretch that broken dream. You've got to stretch that purpose. You've got to stretch that desire. You've got to stretch in your marriage. You've got to stretch with your kids. And you can go back to what it once was. It doesn't have to be just a broken mess lying in shambles at your feet where you're always wishing that what once was would be again. Listen, what once was is going to be what is, and it's going to be greater than what it was. And when that guy looked at his hand, he didn't have the hand of Jason. He didn't have a hand with painted fingernails. He had his hand. He looked at it and he said, boy, that is my hand. That's what God calls you to, is your life. That's what God calls you in, is he calls you, not a better version of you, not an idealized version of you. He calls you, the real, the true you. That's who he calls. And all that stuff you have in there glowing, he's going to bring to light. Listen, this man right here, what he found is he found comfort, he found hope, he found Jesus, and he had the touch of God on his life.